put in jail all the political leaders of Madagascar. The conflict of interest is really very blatant that time, and where we were obliged to do something for the sake of the Malagasy freedom. But that did not mean that we were not conscious that we should return back to a constitutional normalcy. And I understood that, and I accepted the international recommendations. But my partner did not want that and wanted to get rid of me. But he did not want really to comply with the international recommendations. And the proof is when I refused. He was obliged to go to Addis Ababa, but before that, he refused to go to Addis Ababa to sign for the new prime minister. And I said to him, no, I don't resign. Go to Addis Ababa, sign this agreement that you initiated yourself, and after, bring me the paper. And they faxed me the paper. I saw it. There was the 4 signatures. I called the new prime minister. We convened for a date, and we made a Republican passing over of the office, and the international representatives in Madagascar were present, including the United States of America, France, and everybody were attending this ceremony. And I said, okay, now I will devote myself for the preparation for new elections. I will be candidate for these presidential elections. So, after 3 weeks only, he appointed another prime minister. So that means it was not me, it was him who did not comply with the international community. And no, that is the risk now. Just now, I've heard from Madagascar this morning that he is preparing to appoint his own prime minister again, to come back to the unilateralism, defying the resolutions of a SADC taken here in Dar es Salaam.
Yeah. So your successor was there for only 3 weeks?
Pardon me?
Your successor was in the office
for
only 3 weeks?
3 weeks, only 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So who is there now?
That time he appointed the Colonel Camille Vital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And he ran the country unilaterally. And when South Africa...
When you say unilaterally, what do you mean? You mean there's no parliament?
Yeah, but there's no parliament, there's no... Because normally...
He was ruling the country by decree then?
By decree. And as it is stated by the recommendations of the international community, namely the SADC, there should be a government of unity. But he has never appointed a real government of unity. And he has been forced by the leadership of Troika led by South Africa during last year to appoint a new prime minister and to form a new government of unity. But still, this prime minister did not have any power to implement anything. And it is there for the facade, just for the for a show, not really a prime minister. And the problem of SADC now, to have all the recommendations implemented, is that case, because Andrea Juelna is playing alone, unilaterally, and the SADC recommends the consensus, inclusivity, consensuality, transparency, and neutrality to manage the government of transition in order to have a clean, credible, transparent, and acceptable by all election. But he is not acting in that way.
This is Hamza Kassongo, our discussing the politics in Madagascar with the former Prime Minister, Monja Reindorf. So, if the situation is like that, but already I see that there are plans for elections in May next year, and for presidential, March or something, and then July you have parliamentary. How do you have these elections separately? First the president, then the parliament.
As each country has its tradition, Madagascar has monitored its elections separately, the presidential, the communal, for the, the mayor, and this proximity elections, and the parliament elections. We always had it separately.
So which means the president doesn't need to have a majority in parliament.
Well, he needs to have the majority.
But he's elected before the parliamentary elections.
Because, the kind of stability in Madagascar has been based on this tradition. Because, when there is, let's say, this parliament election before the president's election, the Malagasy people does not recognize itself too much in the what is it?
Parliament.
The parliament. And the situation also is that there was a president which has been taken out from office, and our problem, which has created the crisis, is a presidential concern and problem. So we have to fix this presidential problem in order to go forward. But anyway, it's a little bit complicated, the case of Madagascar, because even though we don't know if we have constitution or not, because the constitution which has been adopted, so-called adopted in October 2010, is not recognized by SADC nor by the international community.
Why?
Because it was prepared not without a serious preparation. The list electoral was not checked, and the last control that the organism of the Francophonie made in Madagascar said that 68% of the list, electoral list, is containing errors so this has not been corrected, but we voted on the basis of this flawed electoral list, and the people could vote with only a letter from his with a residence certificate. And normally, when you vote, there should be authorization from the tribunal, from the judge, stating that this person has lost his electoral card and this. So this is the paper testifying that he can vote. But that time, you just bring your residence certificate. I am from this district and this, and you vote. And it was really uncontrollable. And the international community did not recognize it. But Andrew Rajoelina says that this is the constitution. So all of this has to be fixed. And still, for that reason, Tanzania plays a great role to fix with Madagascar all of this, because Tanzania is now the president of Troika, the chairman of the ministerial committee organ of SADC, and anyway, Tanzania also, if I am not mistaken, is a member of the Security Council of the United Nations. So Tanzania has all the means to sort out this problem if they better understand the situation. And for that reason, I give myself the toil to come here and to explain the Malagasy situation. And I hope that they have understood the explanation I gave.
Will these elections take place in March and July?
Theoretically, it should. But with the new situation in Madagascar, when Andra Juelina or he sends some people to make some declaration today that, okay, we don't need SADC, because he has already made some declaration through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Madagascar that Madagascar is independent, he is not there to be, to receive any order from the SADC and everything. We are a sovereign country. Myself, I am from a tradition of people who has really fought to win this independence, not only theoretically. My father, my parties, my constituencies in Madagascar. I understand the value of sovereignty. But, in fact, SADC has to help the Malagasy people to bring back this sovereignty to the Malagasy people, because it's hijacked now.
It is hijacked by Andre Ravarjan.
By Andra Juelina.
Right. And he's refusing to get out. So what do you want SADC to do? Do as they're doing for DRC? Send the army?
Well, I think that as options, every options you have it on the table, and I think that that is an option that which can be seen on the table. I don't think that it should be picked up to be to solve the Malagasy problem, but it's one option among others on the table. But the problem in Madagascar also is the way the SADC and the international group of contact have managed the problem in Madagascar. For example, I was a main actor of this change. They have taken me out of the process that time, because now I am part of the signatory of the roadmap during the South African took over. But before I've been taken out, and they've artificially, I would mean, raised the former presidents who played a marginal role in this change. So the international community thought to have created some internal balance of force, but if the president have been out, what balance of force they can bring back again? So they have ignored those people who have been really actors, and the Malagasy opinion is listening. Those, for example, they have a problem to negotiate with the Malagasy army, and they have ignored the people who have negotiated with these people, with the institutions and everything, to play a great role also among them. So they have to check again and to revise all the Madagascar dossier in order to set forth some new proposal. But I am really very pessimistic if there is not really a new approach from Tanzania, because Tanzania, though, is considered, I don't say that the others, the former who took charge of it, were not considered, but Tanzania is recognized as a country who sometimes takes a firm decision and an educated decision also in some matters. So we are waiting too much from Tanzania, because the way Andra Juelina wanting to behave himself now is not ensuring the taking place of the election in May this year. And even the case of insecurity in the south of Madagascar, where a lot of a case against the human rights have been pointed out by different humanitarian